Okay, so looks like we have come to the end of the year wrap up show. Are you excited?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm. Yeah, well,
Can barely
I
contain
hear it in your
myself.
voice. Mm, okay. Well, are you ready to start the show?
Why not?
Hey everyone, and welcome to or welcome back to One Man and One Woman, the podcast. I am one half of your co-hosts, Tara Michelle.
And I am J. Flan.
When was our first episode released? Was it April?
April. April.
April. And I have been asking you to be my co-host for 2.5 years before that.
Yeah, we're gonna let her. We just gonna let her live tonight, people. I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna do it. End of the year. I'm gonna finish the year the way I want to start 2025. Peace. Kumbaya.
You know what? You know what? I feel it. I feel it. But I have to be me. It was a while. It was like months. I know that much. But I also know that you had a lot of
Yeah.
shows that you were doing. So
And if
I'm
anyone
just
is
grateful that we were
curious
able to.
to hear some of the insight about, what may have been going on, I just released an episode of my personal podcast, the What Is TWS podcast, entitled Where'd You Go? Where I talk about my disappearance and everything factors in. So if you want to
It wasn't for
get
this
the rest of
show.
the story.
It wasn't my fault. However, he was doing like 7, 8 different podcasts, and I had to patiently wait on him. But it was worth it because you see how we are together, guys, and you seem to be loving the podcast. So I'll take it. I have a series of questions I want us to go over in our wrap up show. And we're pretty much just going to be discussing the podcast and maybe a little bit about our personal lives and what we've been through in 2024 and what we are hopeful for and in 2025. I'm trying to find where I wrote down all the questions, so bear with me. Okay, so let's start. Let's talk about what you thought about this podcast in the beginning. Like, what were you looking to do with the podcast? What do you think we accomplished so far? And what do you want to accomplish in 2025?
Man, I think when you first proposed the idea, I think the focus was really, you and I had been on several other podcasts and we were having conversations um, consistently with other people, and just I think both had kind of gotten a little bit jaded or a little bit I don't know, disturbed with the lack of balance. Not that there was any problem with the conversations that we were having, but that they were all very one note and there was not a lot of variety to it, and it was didn't feel like there was a lack of representation from maybe our side or how we view things, or maybe a more positive outlook. Because I can't even say our side, because our side is not, we're not always on the same side, but just that kind of discourse. I think I felt like there was an imbalance. There wasn't a lot of places where people were having those conversations for that purpose, and I think that's what we started this one for. And I don't know. I guess in the beginning, I thought it was going to have we were going to lean heavily toward, I guess, relationship issues, just the nature of the thing, a man and a woman talking, and especially with the state of affairs right now, with the contentiousness between men and women. That kind of seemed like that might be the initial focus. I'm kind of glad to see that things have I don't want to say pivoted, because I think that was always your plan, but that we have found a space where we can have all of the conversations, and that there are people that are, ready and waiting for these conversations. There's an audience for it, and sky's the limit on what we can do and what we can talk about.
What do you want to see the show do in 2025?
I
Stay
think
that
you and
same course?
and expand. I think we've you and I have started to have discussions about issues and things that we want to champion and kind of push forward. I think we've talked about stress and mental health, and maybe talking about therapy or seeking therapy or finding reputable and good therapists and giving that information on the show, or just making that encouragement a part of the show every time. I think we're a lot of these discussions that we're having, we're realizing at the heart of it is a bunch of hurt and trauma, and people recovering from trauma, And if, a lot of us maybe went and did that work to heal, then our relationships with each other would be so much better and we would see things change. But I think we know. I remember the statistic when I was going through my stuff that at any given moment, 70% of 75% of the population is experiencing a mental health issue. So we're all kind of going through it. And I think, you and I have talked about making this show kind of just always including that little gentle nudge, even if we're talking about something stupid. Just at the end of the day, if you believe that, go see somebody. But we're going to throw something in there from time to time. And I like to see us champion some causes.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. Um, I agree with everything you said. When I thought about this show, I wanted to do it because I was so tired of seeing the gender war that was unfolding, and I wanted to put something positive out there. I wanted people to see that a man and a woman can have a conversation whether they agree or not, and it not turn into, me being called out of my name, you being called out of your name, people threatening to come meet up and fight, like, the craziness that we see
Because
on
all of
social
it's
media
happened,
all the
people.
time.
All of it has happened. I've had somebody say they was going to come smack the shit out of me. Facts. Go ahead. Sorry.
Told you that.
Oh, yeah, you were there. You were there.
Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. Well, and mean it. Like, I would never. I would never. If I said that, I don't think I did. However,
No, not you. Not on this show. You were there when somebody told me they was going to smack the shit out of me on a podcast.
see if I did it somewhere else. But oh, I know what you're talking about when you said that. Okay, right. No, yeah, I'm talking about our show specifically. I want a safe space where the conversations between a man and a woman can happen. People can witness when we don't agree, because that often happens. It's one of the reasons why I chose you, because I didn't want someone who thought exactly like me, because like what would we be teaching people except for some kind of one-sided, clown show? I want, difference of opinion, and when we agree we do, and sometimes when we agree, we don't agree on how to get there. Like we can agree on where the ending needs to be, but we may not always agree on the path to take to get to said place. I want that same. I think it's very important that people understand, especially in the Black community, because I don't really see this in other um, ethnicities. Some of the problems that we're having here is lack of communication, old wounds passed down through the generations. We've never really looked at our men as, emotional beings, and that's unfair. I just want to get down to the truth of it all. And I've told you this before, you're one of the most masculine men I know. And the way that you think about things tends to be an entire picture type of thing, or a lot of times I am tunnel vision. 100%, whatever I'm focused on is where I am. So I knew I needed somebody who was going to challenge me, who is intelligent, and was going to bring the it factor to the show, and the fans love you. They love your reels. That's
Hey,
why I keep posting you.
I got an email address too, people. I just want y'all to know I got an email address too. Flan,
Most of the time when
FLAN.
they reach out to me is in my DMs on Instagram.
I got DMs. My DMs is dry, folks. Holla at your boy. Don't start nothing. Start no trouble. We can convert.
Um, Lord have mercy. Have mercy. Okay, so as far as the future, I want to stay on the path of making sure that people can understand that a man and woman can have a conversation, disagree, or agree, and it be cordial. It be a teachable moment. It's a time to learn, to grow, to evolve. And you guys may not agree with what we're saying on either side, but then you can come and reach out to us and talk to us and let us know how you feel about it, like so many of you do. And again, I appreciate you guys. So I want to provide a safe space. I want to share knowledge and emotions, because it's all wrapped into one, and I just want to continue to grow and have the good conversations, not just the bad ones. So the next question is, what was your best show moment or episode that we have done so far?
Um, I think I'm gonna start with the beginning. The first episode, that was the bad boy
Why
shit.
must you always copy me though? I'm gonna stop letting you go first.
And I didn't ask to go first. Anyway,
That was my favorite
back
one
to what I was saying.
too.
Because I stand behind it. I stand behind it. Go fuck a nice guy. Like, what do you have to lose? What do you have to do? I understand some people came after me because of that, because I'm encouraging people to just have meaningless sex. It might not be meaningless. I'm just saying you already doing it. You might as well like I stand behind it.
Just
Fuck a
just
nice guy.
switch up your
Let's
type
make it
or
a
whatever you
holiday.
think you have.
Pick a
Yeah,
day. Pick a day, TM. What's a good day?
December 19th.
September 19th. You said December 19th?
December.
December 19th. You want to make all right, we're not even gonna do that. All right.
September
December
19th is my
19th.
little brother's birthday. Okay, let's say
That's your
October
little
1st.
brother's birthday?
September 19th is.
Oh, okay. October
So I
1st?
can't use September 19th or December 19th. We all know what's December 19th.
That is your birthday. And you want
That's my birthday.
your birthday to be fucking nice guy day?
Absolutely. It should be a national holiday. And if we want to add that one too, absolutely. I'm going to help the geeks and the nerds and the sweethearts and the nice guys that's always finishing last get some. Yes.
All right.
December 19th,
Let's go with it.
National
Let's do it.
Sleep with a Nice Guy Day because I can't say what he said. All
My bad,
right.
Sean and Granny. My fault.
I am I agree with you. I think that had the most views on reels, had it definitely had the most people coming to me going, absolutely. The fact that you were saying that it's probably the females who ruin the males with the foolishness, and we're the ones that teach the males that this is what we're looking for. The conversations were amazing. That conversation bled over into other podcasts that I was on, comment sections of other podcasts that I was
Yeah.
on.
We did a
It
part
was
two.
amazing. I think
We
it was
had
just
it.
a really good topic.
We had to do a part two.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. So I think that that is extraordinary. I don't know how many episodes we've done, but that we both chose that one. That's dope. Okay, so let's have a little. I will say this though, our musical show, the soundtrack to life, was also very fun on a personal note for me because I know we both love music, and I have to apologize. I'm going to apologize on air because I got in trouble for that show, y'all. I was just making cute little jokes like, he didn't know nothing about
Yo,
R&B, and let me tell y'all,
yo.
bruh, if you only knew. So I take it all back. I will not joke with J. Flan ever again regarding music. Okay,
I swear.
it's
I
here.
wouldn't
It's
suggest
recorded.
anybody do it for that matter. Like,
Yes, please, please don't. So, okay, so I want to talk. Segueing over to this question, I want to talk about for you your best musical moment of 2024.
man,
It could be an album release, a song release, a collaboration, anything.
man. Like I said, so that is tough. I'm trying to think of what was released this year. Um,
Well, while you look that up,
yeah, yeah. Let me
I'm over
give
here.
me
For
that
anybody
second.
hear me smacking, I'm so sorry. I am
Hopefully they don't hear
having
me typing.
apple cider. It's that time of sparkling apple cider. I had a hot apple cider earlier at work. But for me, my best musical moment was absolutely Kendrick Lamar. And I'm not talking about the beef. I'm talking about Not Like Us. Um, I just love the song. I love the sentiment. Um, I love him. Just to move over to like my musical list wrap up from Spotify. My artist of the year was Taylor Swift. Don't judge me. Her album 1989 is a classic and for me a perfect album. None of her songs made it into my top, 25 or 50 songs, but I listened to 1989 on road trips, so I will play it over and over and over again. So that's how that happened, but I am not ashamed to be a Swiftie. I don't care. However, my number 2 artist was Kendrick Lamar. My number 2 song of the year was Not Like Us. And I think he came out mid-year for the summertime. It just is a bop. I am definitely much a West Coast girl when it comes to rap. I'm from the Midwest, but I grew up on the West Coast. I like the Southern down South rappers and stuff too, but it was a throwback to the 90s for me. And I absolutely loved it. And for it to come out halfway through the year or later than that, um, and it to be my number 2 song and him to be my number 2 artist just no, because I his damn album gets played heavily still by me. But I just loved it. I also want to shout out to Teddy Swims, all the collaborations he's been doing with country stars and any and everybody else. He also made it on my top 5 list, of artists. And 2, Beyonce doing the Renaissance album, which brought to the forefront those great new artists and those Black artists who have been in the country game for a minute that we were not made aware of, because even though country music comes from us, it's been whitewashed. We could say that, we know that. There have been people who are out here doing it and making great music. Shabuzi being one of them, and I think he's nominated for Grammys and stuff. So shout out to Black country music makers, stars, singers, artists. Shout out to Teddy Swims for proving he can sing anything. Anything. And shout out to Kendrick Lamar for just giving me a song that I just absolutely love and I can't say anything bad about.
All right, that's a
Okay,
dope list.
your
I
turn.
did a yeah, man. I was sitting here searching. Because I didn't want to go with like I know how it is. Like recent, man, something happens yesterday, and all of a sudden it's so much more important
It's
than
the best
everything that
thing ever.
happened.
It's new and it's
Yeah,
shiny.
it's
Yeah.
new and it's shine, and so I didn't want to do
That's why
that,
men cheat on their wives.
but I sent you. I mean, there's proof. There's empirical evidence behind the statement that I'm going to say, and it's a couple of things that lead to it. One, the dude sent me a message on my birthday. He dropped a dope album, and that's and see him. You could tell the people. I was ashamed to really admit it, but you could tell because I sent you the graphic. I looked at my title list, and it was showing me just for this month, for the month of December, right? That is Skyzoo's Record Store Day is the most streamed song that I've streamed the month of December. As of yesterday, it had 121 streams. The next closest song had 4. That's how much. That's how
And the
much.
next closest song was by Kendrick Lamar. We're going to go ahead and let the people know.
Yes, the next Kendrick Lamar was the number 2 artist on my list for December with 4 streams. but Skyzoo
I mean,
was
it's a
there at
good album. It's a really
121.
good album.
It's a really good album. I got a chance. I really hadn't. I listened to the Skyzoo album first, just because of the headspace that I was in at the time, and I was really looking forward to the album. And so I just really got around to listening to the Kendrick album in totality today, and so I'll get some time with it, and it'll we'll figure out a thing. But that Keep Me Company album, at the time, Keep Me Company was probably like the best title for an album for me. So yeah, that probably is my moment of 2024. And he said,
So
"What's up to me
Sky
on my
Zoo,
birthday, dude?"
guys.
He said, "Happy birthday to me." How could he not be the best moment of 2024? Who else did? Did with the Lil Wayne say happy birthday? I ain't then. Here we go.
Ew. Yeah, so Sky Zoo, Keep Me Company is the album and the artist. Sky
Record
Zoo
Store
being the
Day, though.
artist, Keep Me Company is the album.
Tell you,
And
Record
yes, he
Store
did
Day,
send a personalized message to
personal.
Flan on his 43rd birthday.
You had to do that.
Super
That
dope.
was necessary. You felt like that
How
right
did
there. You just
how did
felt
that
like throwing
happen?
the actual number out there. You just
43rd? I'll be 44 on December 19th, everyone. Okay? Thanks so much. He doesn't look 43. Why he's acting like that, I can't tell you. But how did he end up sending you a birthday message?
I don't know. Somebody I do a podcast with decided to leverage some of their influence. They thought they threw some of their internet weight around and made things move. It was crazy.
Oh my goodness. I thought it would be super dope. I'm glad he did it. What's the next question? Hmm. Okay, let's jump into this one. What scared you the most in 2024? And I'm going first.
Knock yourself out.
2024 for me was a really weird emotional year. And I had a lot of loss in 2024. Former coworkers, celebrities I may or may not have ever met, but I grew up with my whole life. Family members, I lost a grandmother, lost an uncle. I think 2024 was a year for me. I think I had a moment with my mortality. No, I know I had a moment with my mortality in 2021 November with COVID. And that had been the scariest moment of my life because I did not want to leave my children and I was just really, really sick. But this year has brought that back to me. You know, when you're in your teens, your 20s, your 30s, and you're healthy, you don't think about stuff like that. But now it's like, my grandmother's 78 years old. I hope to have her at least another 22 years. The grandmother that passed away, was 87. All of the matriarchs or patriarchs been gone. And the realization that people, I'm getting older. Like I said, I'll be 44. The people who are above me are getting older, and there just aren't that many left. I think my grandmother who passed away has a sister that's left in Mississippi who I don't know anything about. And then my granny is the last of her siblings. Um, the families just don't talk. They're not connected anymore like they used to be. And all we have are memories. And that just really stunned me. So from an emotional standpoint, 2024 was just terrifying to me. Um, for so many different reasons, but loss was huge for me. The other thing that scared me the most in 2024 was my realization of how deep social media influence goes with people, with you people listening, and everybody else in the world who clearly have not seen any of the Ultron movies, any of the iRobots, any of the Wallis, the Terminators. Like, we have all of the books, all of the TV shows, all of the cartoon series, anything you could possibly want where people are talking about where we're headed. And you guys still want to keep playing with your AI. You don't want to be creative anymore. You don't want to think anymore. So you got your little chat GPT or whatever you call it. And you're getting dumber by the second because everything is, hey, Google, hey, Siri, hey, Alexa, hey, Barbara, whoever else you're calling on to get all your information because you lack the wherewithal or mental capacity or want or desire to just look it up for yourself. When you do want to find some place to get your news and to put all your belief in it, you go to TikTok. You sit there for 8 to 10 to 12 hours, ingratiated in TikTok and the madness there, swearing that everybody on there's telling the truth. You can't cook on your own anymore unless the recipe comes from TikTok. You can't dance, you can't breathe, you can't raise your kids, you can't do anything if TikTok hasn't shown it to you. And to me, that is the scariest thing because, like, come on, please go watch the movie Wally. Wall. It's like a Pixar Disney somebody movie. Um, stream all of the Terminators, the iRobots. We don't win in this fight, y'all. Even from the standpoint of, let's just say AI doesn't, come from Skynet, although Skynet's already real. Um, and it's not about the robots taking over in terms of forcing us to stay in our houses or completely annihilating us. They're going to be doing all the jobs. How are you going to make money? How are you going to support your kids? What are you going to do? Just go ahead and keep giving up your freedom. That is another thing that scared the crap out of me in 2024. What about you?
Um, it wasn't AI. I can tell you that much. But I think my daughter had a health scare in 2024. We got her officially diagnosed with asthma, so it wasn't. But I don't think I ever had any doubt that she was going to be okay. As a parent, it's always stressful when your kid's not well and you don't know what's wrong with him. But I never really doubted that we were going to figure it out and she was going to be fine. I think what really scares me, and piggybacking off what you said, is just the state of affairs in this country. Like, I just, as optimistic as I try to be, I look at the way we look at each other and the way we talk to each other and how everything seems to be this polarizing issue. Every issue is polarizing, and there are these two sides, and it's almost to the point where we really believe that the other side is evil. Like, we don't just believe that they're wrong. We believe that something's wrong with them. And then we start creating this us versus them. And I'm telling you, history will show you what us is willing to do to them. Once you can establish it's them over there and it's their fault, history will show you what human beings are willing to do to them. And so the more I see us like divide into these pools, and the vitriol between each other, and it's constant, like you said, social media is every day. Every day there's something to be outraged about. Every day there's something that you're supposed to take a stance on, and depending on what side you take a stance on, now you are, now you're the opposition to somebody. And it's not sustainable to me. So that's what scares me. If we can't find a way to come back to each other, or just be able to have the conversations, or like you said, like we wanted to do with this show, be able to disagree without disrespect, or to be able to exchange ideas, I'm concerned because I think we're going to run out of, we're going to run out of the want to and the ability to keep having these conversations. The conversations don't seem to be going anywhere, and they only ramp up with intensity. At some point, we're going to stop talking, and that's what scares me.
I like that you said that. And for anyone who may have gotten lost in his statement, I want to give you an example of what he meant when he says, what the you will do to them or whatever he said. Uh, what he's meaning is when we sit up and we divide and we say it's us versus them, we are separating each other. We are all a collective unit of human beings, of Americans and immigrants and people who have come to natives, first of all, natives who were here first. Let me give all due respect. And then the people, the colonizers who came over here and the slaves who were forced over here to build everything. Okay. So, and then the immigrants who've come since then. So, whenever we stop looking at each other as human beings, whenever we stop looking at each other as the same, whenever we start saying, this is our group or our clique and that's their group, their clique, them over there now become less than or dangerous or bad and may need to be annihilated or eradicated or whatever vicious vile thing we're thinking about because we're no longer thinking about them as a part of us, as a part of the collective. That is when we become just as dangerous as we're accusing them of being. So we have to figure out how to come together collectively, make decisions, disagree. We can learn to disagree, but still get to what we all want and what we need and what's going to be best for everyone. And I love that you said that because we do. We honestly forget our humanity, their humanity, and any common sense when we just sit back and talk about each other like we're not human, like we're not worthy of life, love, happiness, and liberty. It's a very dangerous and slippery slope. That is what the Aryan Nation believes. That is what racists believe. We don't want to become them. We don't want to become like them. Sure, we won't be doing it based off of ethnicity. Instead, we're doing it based off of what? Red and blue?
Yeah,
Instead, we're doing it based off of Democrat versus Republican. No matter what you call it or what the reason is, still as bad as everything else that we've already deemed bad, such as racism. Choosing a group, disliking them because of something that how they look, how they were born, the color of their skin, or what they like, or who they vote for. It's all disgusting, to be honest.
yeah. The conversation didn't start with putting people in the gas chambers. They didn't open up with that idea. They opened up with the idea, oh, the country's bad. You don't have a job, you run out of money, you can't feed your family. You know whose fault that is? And then once he told them whose fault it was, what they were willing to do to those people, was different. It
Oh
didn't start
man,
that way. Uh,
yeah. And it's all because you stop looking at them like human beings, like equals. And once they're not that anymore, you can do whatever you want to them. They're trash. They're, you know, replaceable, unworthy. Okay, so the next question is give one or two great moments in 2024. I
Man.
can do this one too.
All
I can
right.
do this one first.
All right. All right.
My family, um, is really, really broken. And there's not a lot of communication, talking, spending holidays together, none of that. With the exception of my granny and my siblings when I host Thanksgiving for the siblings who are still here and stuff like that. There isn't a lot of family time. And this year brought about new life. You know what I'm saying? A whole new generation in my family. My youngest son, Amaru, had been the baby for 10 years. Okay. And I got to witness one of the greatest moments is it had been a long time since I had seen a child born. Maybe my nephew was 20. So 20 years, I think, or maybe. Did Trina happen? Did Patrice happen after that or before that? It had been a minute, but like 20 years. And I got to witness the birth of a baby. And then I also get to, on a regular basis, spend time with my little sister and my niece, my new niece. My sister had her first kid. And so when you're there for the birth of a child and you hold them and you love them and you welcome them into this life, it is one amazing thing. And when you visit and you play with and you talk to and you help rear and feed and teach, and it's just amazing. And I missed it, to have that new blood, to have those new little lives, those precious faces, those cheeks was truly amazing for me. I had a bunch of amazing um moments. I will say that January started off with a bang, baby. I can't tell y'all why, but it was like that. And it continued to be like that all year, pretty much. Um, and another great moment was my children entered into private school. Something I was vehemently against because I was a proud public school girl, and I also didn't want to pay for, schooling when there's free schooling. But my kids are so smart and they're doing so well that I couldn't be more proud of these little human beings that came from me, that God blessed me with. And to see them move on to something better for themselves and something that challenges them has been extraordinary to see. It really has. It's been tough. They're working through some things, but they just never cease to amaze me. And I'm just really proud of them. So for me, in love and rekindling and reconnecting with love and being in love and falling in love with love itself, with the person that I love and that I'm in love with, and with my children and their lives and their joy and their happiness, and with self, really, really diving into who I am, what I want, what I believe in, what I don't want, and learning how to remove that. I think 2024 was amazing, even though a lot of the time I forgot about those moments. I'm glad to be able to think back on that and say, you know what? Yeah, I did have some extraordinary times.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I guess I'm supposed to answer the question now. It's on me.
Yes, you're supposed to give us one
I
or
got,
two great
I got.
moments in 2024.
I don't like to be boxed in like that. Let me
So
work. Let
give
me
us
work.
12,
Let me be
whatever
great.
you want.
I think black excellence. I don't want to say was at an all time high because we always doing dope things, but it was a lot of dope things that we did this year.
No, Diddy.
No Diddy. We had a kid from Fairfax, Virginia, be named Time Magazine Kid of the Year. He's doing some like research in skin cancer treatment and stuff like that. Very dope. I think we're having the one of the Black Negro League pitchers, a woman inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame. It's a lot of dope that with the Olympics, we went crazy up there. A lot of first for Black people in general, a lot of first for Black women. And then the other thing that it was a really big that I'm loving right now is I think Black Boy Joy has been on full display in 2024, and I've watched the world like embrace it and love it. Like I couldn't stand Jameis Winston. I love that dude right now. Like he just and we get to see him having fun and everybody, and he's become a star. He's got fans right now because of who he is, not how he plays on the field. He's playing well, but just him being out there and having fun and us getting to see that. Keon Coleman with the Bills, Xavier Legette, the guy nobody who can understand, and he's in on the joke and plays with it, and he's having fun.
Is that
I
the
think
coon
we
with the
see
jacket boy?
what's that? Yeah.
Is that
They
the
took
one
the
that was?
clothes off
I'm talking
him.
about Taylor
They took
Johnson.
the clothes on him. Yeah.
And I can't. I need a translator, or I cannot do it. I'm sorry. He is so funny, but I have no idea what he's saying.
I'm loving it. Hey, not to mention the Commanders. It looks like the sun may come out at some point for us, folks. Hey, don't chill. Don't get don't jump out the window just yet. Don't jinx it for us. But like, yeah, things are looking up. Shout out to Jaden Daniel, another young. It's been a lot of young. I've been able to just like support and champion and cheer for a lot of young Black dudes doing dope things, and that's been amazing this year. With the good Noah Wiles in the Olympics, the 16-year-old kid who ran in the relays,
Yeah.
like man,
Simone, the great
Simone,
Simone Biles,
we've
that
had
girl with them nails and the weave. What's her
to
name?
see
That run.
Shakari Richardson, get
Yep,
her medal,
her.
and like this, like we had some moments this year for us as a people. Snoop is still a national fucking treasure, and it's beautiful. I'm voting that both Marshawn Lynch and Mike Tomlin be added to that list of national treasures. We need to put more mics in their faces. Stop putting mics in Ice Spice and Cardi B and whoever else face or Sexy Red, so
Glorilla.
they can say some dumb shit and then you put it. I'm sorry, Granny. and you can put a headline up about the dumb thing that Sexy Red said, or she making chlamydia lip gloss or whatever it is. Like put a mic in Mike Tomlin's face and just let him talk about life, or just let Marshawn Lynch, and he gonna say motherfucker about 30 times, so you gonna get your ratings. But he gonna leave us with something. He gonna leave us with something.
I love the fact that you answered that question for the world and not for you. Do
I
you
mean,
have a personal, like, best, great, extraordinary moment?
I don't know.
We go back to Sky Zoo?
I belong to the world. Like, and I want, that's an Odyssey song. Shout out to Odyssey. Well, it
That's a
make
now, if a girl said that, she'd be for the streets. See, that's the here we go. Let's just go ahead and point
not
out
say, but you can say it like everybody now. You can take it sexually or relationship with. But if it,
or just
I end every show of my own podcast. How do I end the
mhm,
show? And know this:
you know,
if you know nothing else,
yeah, that.
I fucking love you. And I'm
Mhm.
saying that to the world, to anybody that's listening.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So I love it. And when I see us, I hurt when I think, there's that we're losing hope, and that I'm losing hope in whether or not, we're going to come back from this. And I cheer when I see us, and all the conversations we've had about black men's emotions, and to see dudes just be out and happy and just, eh, that's a
But
moment
we
for
need
me.
more of it because right now we are seeing the emotional side of men, but a lot of it is negative, and a lot of it is negative because nobody has taught them how to handle their emotions, and it's not being received well in many spaces by women. So it is great to see some men who are free with their emotions and are happy and are
Happy.
joyful,
It's
and
not a
it's
negative
beautiful.
emotion. They're not angry. They're not sad. They're not depressed. They're not stressed. I mean, they probably do go through all of those things, but we get to see them just unabashedly joyful, and that's beautiful. But let me do say this, because again, it's just happened recently, so I had to process it on the scale of the year. But I want to tell UTM like how much the Skyzoo situation meant to me. Not just on some hearing from my favorite artist and somebody caring enough to go, make that attempt to make that happen. That's something that most people would have, I know for me, I would have thought about it and seemed impossible. And I think that's the biggest thing for me. And I wish everyone had someone like that in their life. Sometimes we need to see that. I tell you, the only difference between you and people doing what you want to do is that they're doing it. Like, things aren't impossible. And it's just try. Just, what's it going to hurt to try? And just when you have that mental block in your head that certain things are just, oh, that's improbable or impossible. And so you never attempt. And then you see somebody look at an idea that should have been impossible and say, fuck it, I'm going to try anyway. And whether
Yeah.
they're successful or not, that's inspiring. So I appreciate you.
Oh, not a problem. I'm glad I could do it. Like I told you when I first thought about reaching out, and I was like, yeah, well, that's never going to happen. I thought to myself, we're all human. The worst thing could happen is he never checks the message, or whoever runs his accounts for him, if he has somebody that runs it, ignores it or says no. But like my life is not going to end if I can't pull this off. And lo and behold, I tried. Like people say, I don't know who invented this saying, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah.
And I just thought it would be cool because the way that you listen to his music and interpret it and break it down, and the fact that you've introduced him to all of us, like everybody from the podcast group who is a hip hop head. I didn't know about Skyzoo before you. I know Raw didn't, and probably anybody else for that matter. So he owed you at least that.
Well,
For all the
I'm out here
fans
doing
you
my
brought
civic duty,
him.
man.
Right,
I'm bringing
and
art
it was
and
dope.
joy and love and everything to the world, whatever y'all need.
And that's probably why it worked out to where he saw, because I was late. The idea came to me. It's already your birthday, and he's just now seeing it. He turned it right around. Super dope, and a super cool guy. Followed up with me and thanked me for sending the request and said it was, a blessing, or he was more than happy to do it. Super dope
Yeah.
guy.
And
So shout out
there's
to
nothing
Sky Zoo
better
for that.
than when you find out the people you admire are just good people. Like, I
Yeah.
thought he was a dope artist. Now I know he's a dope individual, and that's crazy. And if, you know, I ain't gonna do it.
I always say you should never meet your heroes. So it's always good when you meet somebody that I'm not gonna use the word hero, but somebody that you look up to and you respect, and he's a good human being, a good person. It's nice,
Yeah,
so because some people
right.
out here now won't do anything for fans. They will, move like they don't know where their money come from.
And even
Okay,
a step
so
beyond that, because he's in Germany right now, and I got podcast plays in Germany. I don't know nobody else in Germany. I'm not saying Skyzoo listens to my show, but you do the math.
I did give him the links to everything that you're a part of. So if he's listening, I mean, your podcast is extraordinary. I'm a super groupie,
Thank
super
you.
fan of the show because I think it's extraordinary the things you talk about, the way you fearlessly open up and talk about everything. If you go back to the beginning of it, 27 years ago when you started doing the podcast, all the way to now, we see you go through it all. The ups, the downs, the ins and out, the dark periods, the happy times, the way you talk about your experience. It's amazing to me what you've done. And it's great to know that you're back to it. The episode you just released, that is whatistws.com, right? Your
Yep,
website.
that is
And
correct.
what is TWS podcast, Instagram, Facebook,
Everywhere. What is TWS?
yeah, all of them,
You'll
all the
find
streaming
it.
platforms, the stuff over there and over there.
Right.
It's everywhere.
And I'm getting real personal this week. I got to check myself on some stuff I said last week. So stay tuned.
Um, where were we? What do you want to leave in 2024?
um,
Last year, I wanted to leave pause in 2023. I wanted to never hear another human being on this planet say pause. But Diddy made that impossible for 2020. I think we moved to no Diddy, but pause is still very relevant over there on the East Coast. So thank you people for that, Flan.
I'm from the South.
What do you want to leave in 2024, do you know?
Uh, Self doubt.
Yes, Lord.
You know, I think uh, I think we're all creatives to a certain extent. You get a little kid that makes something, anything, and he can't wait to show it off. And I think that early reaction, scars a lot of us. If you're a little kid and you say, "Ooh, come see this, come look at this," and then somebody looks at it and this is it, or gives you a unfavorable, you know, kind of review. Some people tend to shut down. I think that might have been, you know, kind of what happened to me at parts of my life. So I don't know. I don't know. And I want to leave self doubt behind. I think I'm looking for too much of other people have to approve of things, or other people need to tell me that it's good or not. And if I don't have that validation, then there's no reason to do it. But if I think it's dope, then
Do it.
do it.
Absolutely. Prove them wrong. I just wish everybody could have seen your face when you just sometimes your facial expressions. I think we should be doing this visually. However, I want to wait till we get a bigger audience. I want to make sure that people are watching for the right reason, not because I'm super attractive. And you like,
But I'm gonna start wearing a mask. I don't want to turn away people.
you're so funny. For me, I want to leave um giving a care about what other people think in 2024. We did the reputation versus character show. And if you guys listen, for those faithful listeners, I appreciate you so much. If you listen to that, you see how much I talk about the importance of reputation because right now, with the court of public opinion running everything, you can truly be messed up and lose a lot. Your money, Jonathan Majors is a huge example of how you can be on top of the world one day and at the bottom of it the next. So, I think I give too much credence to what people think of me, and I don't want to do that anymore. I had an epiphany when something happened to me this year. Somebody who likes to weaponize people when getting into arguments with me. When I made a decision to remove them from my life permanently, they did something that put me in a bad situation, and involved someone who really wasn't a part of the situation, and her not knowing the full story, it could have turned into something ugly. But I'm not a mean person. So if you get caught up in some mess, and your feelings get hurt, I will apologize because it was never my intention to offend you or bother you. Yeah, that's somebody else's burden to carry. But what I did understand in that moment is I don't owe anyone an explanation. I know what happened to me, what I've been through, what was done to me. And if you come in on one side of the aisle thinking you know something, or being brought in by somebody you think you know something, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I can no longer carry your thoughts and your concerns and your feelings about me because you don't know me. And if you mean nothing to my life, like if I never ever talk to you again in life and my life doesn't change, or if my life gets better because I don't have you in it, I will never give another one iota what you think you know about me, what you think you know about what I've been through, or how you feel or how you care. I've done that far too, specifically in a certain environment. And it was like because I just didn't want to be, I'm not who people said I was or what they thought I was or who they thought I was. I'm authentically myself, but it still never seemed enough. Never seemed enough. These are the type of people who will prey on my downfall, lie on me, gossip about me, just be really, really horrible to me when I haven't done anything to them. And to me, it was like, why do you care what these people think? So much of that is weighing heavily on me. These things happen at work. These things happen amongst people who are supposed to be your so called friends. Everybody, family members, everybody can get it in 2025. And when I say get it, what I mean is we never have to talk again. If you're going to come at me and believe craziness or make up craziness and just be somebody who I no longer need or have any use for, get away from me. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to speak, we don't have to talk, but I am done caring what other people think about me, whether or not they like me, what they think they know about me. I can't. I cannot walk into 2025 carrying the burden of people who do not matter in my life. That was even freeing to say. I can kiss my whole entire. Okay,
Man,
the
it's so
last
lonely being the
question
only
that I
person that
have
curses on this show.
is, you said what?
I say it's so lonely being the only person that curses on this show. But I'm a rep. I'm a rep. We need
Well,
representation, so I'm
I
here.
did drop the F bomb because I meant it. I need, and this applies to my YouTube channel. It applies to every part of my life. People who want to come in my comments and tell me what I need to review. Do you know how many people want me to review their Trump perfume? I promise you, I'm not. I don't care. And so I'm just saying, not that I'm saying the harsh stuff to my subscribers, but in 2025, I have to be more bold about explaining to people that I do what I want. I've earned that right. It's my life. So I do what I want and I don't have to do what I don't want to do. And anybody who has a problem with Tara Michelle being who Tara Michelle is can leave me alone. Exit stage left and stay there. Okay? That's the thing. 2025, you walk out or I kick you out or we just part our ways. Please go away. Don't come back. Okay. Final question. What do you want for yourself in 2025? I'll go
Same thing I
first.
want. Oh, there you go.
You should say same thing I want every year, try to take over the world.
No, I'm go ahead. You
Okay.
first.
I want peace.
There you go. That was my answer.
I
Same
do
thing I
want
want
peace. I do want
every
peace.
year, Pinky. Peace.
I do want peace. I want peace. I want happiness. I want love. I'm that girl who has always loved love, loved being in love, but I think love of self is very important to me. I think I need to learn to coat myself with that armor. And I don't mean armor as in something defensive, but something to keep myself strong because often I forget love of self. I have a lot of love to give other people, but I don't have a lot of people who reciprocate that. I have a couple, I have a few, but I do a lot more for people who would never turn around and be there for me if I needed them. And that's draining. So in 2025, I want to live out loud. In being courteous and kind and mindful of how I say things, I want to be happy and I'm putting my happiness above anybody else's. I want to be free. I want to laugh, smile, have joy and put me first for a change. Because what happens when I put me first is I have enough to go around then. I'm building me up, I'm loving on me, I'm strengthening me so I have all the time in the world for my man, for my kids, for my job, for my YouTube channel, for my podcast, and anything else I want. Because I'm pouring into me. I'm finding those things that make me happy and I'm continuously doing them. I'm removing those people who do not bring me happiness or joy, do not protect me, do not love on me, do not reciprocate what I'm giving out. And and turning that into positives, getting rid of the bad, pouring more into me. I think 2025 is going to be amazing. I'm a resilient girl. I've been through some stuff. So,
Yeah, if you're listening to this, your track record for survival, you undefeated. Everything that's come up so far, ain't nothing knock you down. What you afraid of? You got this.
what happened?
What you mean why?
And that's your answer for what do you want for yourself in 2025?
Peace. Peace. You know,
Peace.
and maybe not even peace. Contentment. I think I'm realizing the difference between peace and contentment. And I had this experience when I was in rehab. Yeah, because at that time it was probably the least peaceful time of my life, and I'm in a space where I went from being like an IT dude, you know, professional, to now I'm like in this borderline prison, you know, with
Oh my God.
all kinds of crazy people, and and in those spaces, like anytime where I would find myself sitting and like not worried about anything, not happy. It's very hard to be happy in a place like that, but just not worried, not I'm not stressing about anything. I'm not focused on anything. I'm just sitting in the moment. This is beautiful. This is contentment. And I found myself. My practice then was to thank God every time. If I noticed that I was in the moment and I wasn't worried about anything, thank you, Lord, for this moment of contentment. And the more I did that, the more I was grateful for those moments. The more those I got, and I got away from that. So I need to get back to gratitude and appreciating contentment and peace and enjoying those moments when I have them. So it doesn't feel like I know that they're there, but if you don't embrace them and enjoy it and savor it like your last meal, you'll mess around and think that you know your life is nothing but you ripping and running. There are moments here and there, and if you stop and appreciate them, they hit different.
That is the truth. So, I just want to give a shout out to everybody in 2025 who is going to get married, who's going to get engaged, who's going to have a baby, who is going to buy their first house or another house. I don't care how many houses you done had, who's going to start a business. I wish everybody happiness, success, and growth, and whatever that means for you. A extra shout out to everybody who getting out of jail. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just
I'm
think
gonna do this.
2025 has a lot to offer us.
I'm gonna do this because this is one of my favorite things to do personally to put pressure on myself to get things done. I'm gonna tell the people what we've been working on.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
no, we're not even. We
I know, but
Working
if they
on is a
know,
bit of a stretch. We are in the no.
we in the doing the impossible. We in the making the impossible possible.
Right, Joe, but you can't put that pressure on me. I don't that you do you I can't even formulate a sentence. Are you seeing this? No. I
Well,
think we
people.
could. Are you kidding?
Nah, I'm just. Hey, all right. Well, keep your eyes peeled.
Just
Working on
wait
shit over
though.
here.
People gonna be like, what was that about? What you working on? Why you wanna say nothing? Thanks for that. It's extraordinary though. It's dope.
Didn't you just go through a whole speech about how you don't owe nobody nothing?
I know I don't, but it's extraordinary. But see, I don't like to tell people what I'm working on before I get the trademarks, the patents, and all of that stuff in line. Because people
I
have a
ain't,
funny way.
oh no, I'm not giving them the idea. I'm not giving them the premise.
Oh,
Just
okay. Oh,
go ahead.
okay. Well, go ahead, do your thing.
All right, yeah, we've started discussing. We want to work on a screenplay for television.
Yes.
So we're working on some
Brilliant.
script writing right now, putting together a treatment for a series, and
Yes, we
yeah,
are.
I got
Super
I'm
dope.
very excited about it, and I think yeah, I think it'll be dope. It'll bring back some of the stuff we've been talking about on this show that's missing, and maybe you know expose you guys to my unique sense of humor. We'll see if I'm actually funny or not. But
I'm just trying to get rich.
that too,
Mm.
that too, that too.
But no, it's an extraordinary idea.
Hey
The
yo,
premise is
hey yo,
unheard of as far
can
as
I
I
say?
know.
I'm gonna say it now. I ain't putting on the dress. I'm saying it now, people. I ain't putting on a dress. So when it come, if I ever put on the dress, somebody play this clip and be like, and so I can understand how far I've fallen. But I'm telling you right now, I ain't putting on the dress.
Wow. Wow. Um, okay, I'm gonna rock that too. I ain't never worn a dress either.
Why you trying to be me? You can't, you know what I mean? It's one man, one woman. It's two different things.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, that's you're so funny, but I am super excited about this. I have a master's degree in creative writing and poetry has always been my first love, but I started doing short stories and I have ideas for novels and I'm just like, you know what, this could be the thing that just jump starts me back into that realm. So I'm excited. And with me bringing this podcast to you and you accepting and you bringing that idea to me and me accepting, I think we're even,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Well, that's the end of the wrap up for 2024. To everybody who's ever listened to this podcast, who's shared the reels, who's commented on the reels, your support, if you've listened on Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, podcast, whatever that thing is, any streaming platform, any app, YouTube, thank you. Thank you for your support. We're just two people out here just trying to do something different. Um, and I really do appreciate everybody who supports. Like honestly. Oh, let me tell you guys something else that happened to me in 2024. For those of you who've been listening, for those who know me, you know I don't have a relationship with my bio mom, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. But I also didn't have a relationship with my dad. He wasn't around um, when I was younger. And I have very few memories of the here or there times that I was around him. I know I got baptized at his church, Shalom Missionary Baptist Church. When I was 12, just because he asked me to. I did not fully understand it, but my dad was asking something of me and I just wanted to make him happy. But that father-daughter relationship is something that I will never know because at almost 44 years old, I think it's too late for him to be my father, to be my dad in the sense or the definition in the way that we talk about that. Like I'm grown now. I don't think there's much he can teach me I haven't already been through. And I had a stepdad, Anton, who was there in my formative years and really, really helped guide me. And best friends, like all my best friends are males. And my big cousin Mikey, may he forever rest in peace. I love you, cousin. Taught me so much. And um, but putting all of this aside, taking it and saying, it may not be the quintessential thing that you think of when you think about a father-daughter relationship, but it's what I have with them. And while I have him here in this life, while I'm here, while he's here, this unique bond that we're starting to form, this unique relationship, whatever the title of it is, it's nice. I have learned to forgive him and chosen not to hold on to the abandonment issues. And, when he calls, I listen. We have conversations. Um, and it's more than I ever thought I would have. It's more than I ever thought of. I can't sit up here and lie and say I prayed for or anything like that, but I'm willing and I'm accepting. As long as things are for the benefit of both of us, as long as it's a good, healthy, we talk every now and then type of situation. Again, it's nice to kind of sort of, be in contact with one of your parents. So I like the fact that that is starting to form in 2024, and it'll be interesting to see where it goes in 2025.
Dope, dope. Very happy for you.
Anything you got for the peeps?
Um, Man, just be safe. Take care of yourself. I think I said this on our first episode or one of our early episodes. There's evil people out here in the world, and there always will be. If you're not one of those evil people, if you're a good person, you only have a couple of jobs. One is to protect yourself and the people you love from those that are evil out there that would do them harm. and the other is to never become one of them. If you do those two
Diddy
things, you're doing.
or B Diddy.
Don't be Diddy. Diddy did it.
Don't be
Diddy
Diddy.
did it.
Okay, well, that was beautiful. I second that sentiment. I always tell you guys to be good to yourselves, be kind to others, or be kind to yourself, be good to others. Both of them, all of them. I want to say, enjoy the rest of the year. Settle up any differences, any bad blood, any people you need to remove, any messed up mentalities. Sign yourself up for your gym membership starting in January. Sign yourself up for all of your annual checkups and visits. Um, and get ready for a new start, new you. You don't have to make any resolutions. You don't have to tell anybody what you're going to do. Just get up and work on being a better you. And please, if you have an EAP or if you have insurance, seek therapy or counseling if you know you're suffering from mental health issues, depression, anxiety, all of that. It's time to take
Yeah.
control of it. Don't you remember what your life was like before you suffered with any of those? And if you don't, that means you've been suffering a long time. Don't you want to give yourself a break? Don't you want to learn how to get past, push through, evolve, strengthen, grow, all of that
Yeah.
good stuff? So,
There's a way out
ask your
if you
job
want it.
if they have something that can get you started. What you say?
I said there's a way out if you want it.
That part. There is a way out if you want it. You gotta want it. We can all want it for you. Your family members, your kids, everybody can want it for you, but you have to want it for you because you have to do the work.
And you're worth it.
You are absolutely worth it. Yes, you are, unless your name is Diddy.
And if
Okay,
you can't believe in
so
yourself, I'll believe in you for you until you get there. I'll hold it down for you till you get there. I got you.
boy, this one here, trying to get all the fans. Can't.
I'm
All
trying to
right,
bet.
well, as
I love
usual,
y'all.
until next year, you know what I'm saying? Remember to find me on December 19th, next Thursday. Send me all the love. Buy me Taylor Swift merch. Um, my Cash App, I will post it. Tell me you want it. I will send it to you. And yeah, as always, until the next time that we hear from you guys, which is January, whenever, 2025, be good to yourself and be kind to others. Holla.
Holla.